This is part 2, technically, about part 1 that never was. There are no parts, only the parting of the sun between buildings. Thank you, Bronx Care Family Wellness Center. I can't help think back to the young lords in Lincoln Hospital, and how even survival requires occupation. I've been in hospitals for sure. One could say it runs in the family. Spasmodically medical, all of us. Medical mysteries, perhaps. Neuronal quirks. Our beautiful bodies boringly berserk. Making up their own social network. Their own spatial sense. That was a restaurant Latino. As if lo Latino could be restaurado, restored. As if it weren't an act of political calculation, pragmatism tinged with desperation, the accidents of our respiration. Bronx, Lebanon, Medicaid office. The Medicaid office meets Mr. Softy. There's something softig there. Why not? We're not disaffected. They have a children's circle here. They have plastic owls. And church performativity. Alternativity scenes, I guess. Bronx Center for Science and Math. That smells of charter. Certainly wearing charter school turf. Right by the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. Everyone wants a piece of the Bronx's renewal. Economic, spiritual, whatever. I'm guessing I do too. for I have been renewed here. These avenues. I have a we problem, not in the urological sense, not that kind of we, although maybe that too, the ura-logical sense, but in the sense of us. I feel I've bandied about that we while speaking into you, the earphone. Who's we? From what I've said, we would seem to be some social us. Some default community I'm claiming. As if I weren't performing my own privilege, the privilege of walking. The privilege of the flaneur and his bonheur. Maybe the we is the one music creates. Not we intentions, as the philosopher called them, but maybe we rhythms. That's all I got. But that's all poetry has ever had. Not all. There are localized moments of poetic struggle. Revolutions on the ground and off. In the heart, why not? Cheesy as it sounds. And maybe we're in one of those moments now. As I walk by Cortona Park, embarking on my speech tour of the day. I don't know where I'm going. I feel that heading for the park is cheating. It's claiming that pastoral space, that romantic space of the lyric I. It's transcendence. It's radicality. It's lamp to nature's mirror, as the late scholar told us. But what can I say? I'm drawn to the green for the promise of growing. To the engram of my voice. As mapped with Twitter analytics. For impossible names and their missing diacritics. Die, all critics. That was my hip-hop moment. And I call out to the haters. But really, I'm just another hippy-dippy park navigator. And yes, that's Mickey. Just to be clear, it's May 2015. And that is, in fact, the scene. And that was Mickey dancing with the kids. You see, Crotona Park is more than pastoral, if not quite moral in its truth, then at least bold in its clarity amid so much disparity. Hey. I think those guys just call me Cristo, Christ. What would they have said 15 years ago or 20 when I rarely shaved? Being called, being interpolated, being named. What they're doing is what I'm doing. What's weird is that I'm calling to myself through a phone that blurs myself, all selves. I'm on Claremont Parkway, and the real tour is about to start. Don't call it performance art or installation. Call it apart, call it sorry, trying to tear apart every relation I have to myself. Something, of course, that I will never do. For I, like you, am merely bundles of relations. Pixelations on a phone. How would we make out if other Chinese take out? Without the wines and liquors, without the check cashing places. Fuck the Western and fuck this union. See, I can say that because it's poetry. If I were a politician, folks might care. Maybe we can be politicians. Rims on our rhymes. Whitman style. Not Gangnam. I told you my flow is retro today. Think back to the park. Okay. It's really gonna happen now. I'm nearing Bathgate. Let the light change so I can cross. What does it mean to cross? Cities have borders too. And Bathgate has blurred borders for decades. This area got urban renewed when? Late 60s maybe? Early 70s? Exactly what the young lords fought against in Chicago's Loop and the real Great Society in New York. This is what they made of it. This is, I guess, Robert Moses's wet dream. That's cool. Fremont Monterey Daycare Center. Not much in the way of foot traffic. I wonder what Jane Jacobs would say. This is the fate of Bathgate. The educational campus. The daycare center. So far so good, or so it seems. Although we haven't talked about the charters, the charter schools surrounding the area. Guided by a reformist euphoria, well-meaning liberal intentions. Need I mention, it was probably our mind too, in the larger scheme. Inevitably. As much as I try to claim a radicality. Tree-lined American flag, daycare center, campus. Now this is the mamitas, wholesalers. Mamitas makes those, I guess, Dominican or Pan-Latino maybe, ices in flavors like coco and batata, the latter being my favorite. So that's cool. It's spurring small business. I think Mamita's a small business. I couldn't say though. As with so much in these spaces. Now it gets weird. I don't know if you could see it with the shadows though, and the direct sun, but that's Perigo. Almost rhymes with peligro, danger. You see, that's a pharmaceutical. They made supplies for the first Gulf War. What do they have to say about the war we're in? Their employees struck, walked out right here a couple of years ago in their own referendum. On the renewal of places like Bathgate. Open these damn gates. The gates to Bathgate. Amid so much city waste. So many fences. And did I mention the park back there? Another charter school. This corner of Bathgate and 173. The site of the largest Jewish market in the city. Maybe in the Bronx. No, I think in the city. Back in the early 20th century. That too got urban renewed. And so these spaces are sedimented in ways that seem unprecedented, but really always have a precedent. On what once was a market. Now trespassing is a crime, and parking is for contractors only. Ask the Thermo King. He'll tell you. Ask the Gun Hill Fence Company. Haven't seen them over on Gun Hill Road. And guess what? Look what we got. More fence, more lockdown, and more wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. More Perigo. And on the other side, yo, Perigo goes on and on. Its own kind of private pedigree swallows up our urban space. By do not feed the birds, I'm guessing they mean the birds of prey. And why not pray for the lost Bathgate. For the marqueta that was here, the remarkable people and stories that now gave way to document control plus QA2. Now there's a formula for urban renewal. Clinical RA and others. 3. Subject to arrest and prosecution. That's always a solution to urban space. Here's Mr. Thermo King again. That's Mr. City Waste. And I hope the Mr. thing is seen as deliberately gendered, in keeping with the patriarchal engineering of urban space. Parking reserved for Perigo visitors and contractors only. Violators towed away. Trespassing is a crime. That's why I'm passing the time with my rhyme. Making up my own trespass. Urban renewal, I guess. I have to go soon. I've given myself a half hour to improvise. Besides, we're all just functions of a parts channel. Maybe I need a new hood fender, bumper, light mirror, radiator, AC condenser, fan. We all need new fans. We all need old ones. We're all, I guess, works in progress. Like this one, even if not of the commercial way. And what will this be? Who knows? I'll have to Google it. I hope it's a responsible corporation that takes its relationship to the community seriously. Oh yeah, so before I forget, before I leave this hard hat area, this loading zone, this construction area, let me tell you about something beyond the construction, the destruction. Here on Bathgate Avenue, I guess in the 70s and into the 80s, was a community garden named Glio, I think, Glio. Fan leasing. And anyway, Glio focused its attention on improving the community and bringing jobs. So they focused on growing herbs they would sell to some of the chicest gourmet, I think, French restaurants in Midtown or somewhere equally stayed in Manhattan. Looks like their archives might be around. I'll have to go to the Bronx Historical Society. But in the meantime, I'm struggling with history, trying to improvise, while in motion, and always ending up by New York City Transit, always ending up by the Cross Bronx Expressway. Yep, that's it. The same one. All was solid. It melted into air. As Marshall Berman, the late great, reminded us via Marx. Berman was a native of these here parts. I wonder what he'd say about Bathgate 2015. I'm under the Cross Bronx. In other words, I'm crossing. I'm a function of displacement. Both displaced and a displacer. Both diasporic and operatic, maybe, in my decidedly non-operatic performance of urban space. AU 62, full prop. Props to the Bronx that survived this crossing. Beyond the Dunkin' Donuts, no hate. And I'll go one more block just to unwind. But did I tell you that this corner was one where, according to New York Magazine, I believe, the fad of slinging sneakers, kicks, tennis shoes, over the wires began. Of course, we're wireless now. And you'll notice that whereas once the Glio Garden was here,